but you don't get a pot for it, unfortunately. So we are ready to go on the grid there. Everybody lined up. Watch the lights is the cry. The lights are red. The lights are out, and away we go. Right, Donovan Dance. Who's it going to be? Donovan does indeed get the jump. Clinton Woods away well too. Darryl not quick off the line. Somebody from the second row has also made a good start. Chases hard after Tyler into that first corner. I think it's going to be Tyler from Darryl Dance. I think that is in second. A lot of black bikes out there. Very hard to tell who's who from this distance, isn't it, Bradley?
Yeah.
I speak as somebody with crap eyesight compared with yours, but you're struggling to see them as well, are you, mate?
Yeah, I mean, there's a black bike out in front and quite a few black ones following it, but Justin Rhodes is the one to pick out there. They all white Yamaha R1. Number 23 of Justin Rhodes. He's up the 4th position from the middle of row number 2, so he's already made up the position as they make their way down in towards the old hairpin. A quick change of direction through the left-hander at Starkey's and on towards Swanson McLean's, and the leaders are back into our side. That looks like Darryl leading the way from Tyler Donovan. You can just about see the gold bits on the leathers of number 19, Tyler Donovan. And of course, Darryl, as you said, Keith, before the race got underway, he knows that no matter what happens to Tyler Donovan, if Darryl wins all 4 races, he's the champion. It's as simple as that for him. But it's easier said than done. Down the back straight they go, heading towards the Robert chicane for the first time of 7 laps, and we'll keep our eyes peeled firmly on the race leader, of course, the number 47 of Darryl Dance. He leads the way from Tyler Donovan. Then it is Clinton Wood, Justin Rhodes, and Connor Swire ahead of the first of the extremes. That's Darren Corkett in 6th position, ahead of Tony Keelty and James Fern, who's looking to make a challenge on Tony Keelty, but not quite close enough as they go in towards Redgate. No, Tony Keelty holds on to that 7th position, and that is the 6th place in class. Tony Russo is 9th, but 2nd in class, ahead of Andrew Firth, Mark Biswell, Sean Wallace, Spike Abraham. Then it is Paul Fagg, Andy Houghton, and George Prinos.
Down they go then towards the old hairpin once again, the second time of 7 laps. Darryl Dance is definitely doing exactly what he needs to do at the end of the day. It's a really good position to be in some ways. It kind of takes the pressure off because you just got to win. It's as simple as that. He knows he can win as well. He's done it plenty of times so far this year. He just needs to be able to do it another 4 times this weekend. Taking his tally up to 19 wins, but we're going to have that weather factor tomorrow, and that could well be the spanner in the works, couldn't it, Bradley?
I mean, I remember Cadwell Park, it was basically a monsoon out there, and Tyler Donovan, he was the man in the weather, wasn't he?
I tell you what, he was definitely had a web foot thing going on, that's for sure. So we'll have to wait and see, but that's tomorrow, that's another day. Right now we're going to worry about what's on track as Darryl Dance leads Tyler Donovan across the way. Clinton Wood, these guys are pretty much, I wouldn't say line astern, there's quite a bit of a gap between them in fairness. They're very much a line astern race at the moment. No great challenges anywhere in the field. In fact, they're all just basically looking like the track day heroes here, except they're going about 5 seconds quicker than track day heroes.
Just the 5?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the lap times, and at the end of lap number 2, that of course is the first of the flying laps. It's a 1 minute 11.6 for Darryl Dance, a 1 minute 12.6 for Tyler Donovan. Lap record is a 1:11.1. So Darryl's only half a second away from the lap record.
He's pushing.
He's certainly trying to apply the pressure from the front, isn't he? Of course.
Right.
Normally,
I wonder if he's getting aboard, and I say that because he's got good people around him. Young Craig Dance, his son, knows how to work things here, and I'm just going to see if we got any boards, because what I'm genuinely worried about is Darryl pushes too hard and makes mistakes. All well getting away, but when you've got a good healthy lead, you've broken the back of the race already, and you can just afford to roll off a little. To be fair, coming out of Roberts there, he looks well under control. Looking for a board. I don't think I see one for our leader.
Tyler's getting a arms wide open, which, I mean, I guess that means there's a big gap behind him.
Yeah, well, he knows what the gap is in front of him, that's for sure. He can see it disappearing off. Did it get bigger that time, the gap, mate?
1.9. Yeah, it came out by a further 10.
Yeah, you can see it just creeping away that little by little. As the leader makes his way down to the old hairpin. Right, what's happening in the extremes there?
Extremes, and Darren Corkett has just dropped track position, but he still leads the way in the extremes, and he's got Tony Keelty between himself and Tony Russo. So that is 7th and 9th in the overall scheme of things, but 1st and 2nd in class. And then it's Andrew Firth, who's 1.9 behind Tony Russo, as Spike Abraham just runs on at the Roberts chicane on number 41 Yamaha. That drops him to the rear of the field. And on that previous lap, he's credited with 3 minutes and 2 seconds. So he's just been put a lap down, unfortunately.
Okay, mate, well, he is a mechanic, so he's probably stopped at the side of the track to fix the problem. get himself back in the game there. So Tony Russo, I think he's riding very much for the championship. He knows he doesn't have to win the race. Darren Corbitt does have to win the race. It's as simple as that. As Daryl Dance comes across the line, and again he's opened up that gap just a little bit more, not by too much. Tyler very safe in second there, and he must be very frustrated that he can't find that last couple of attempts to challenge the leader. Clinton Wood too far behind to challenge. Looks like it might have a little bit of a battle between 4th, 5th and 6th there. Who's in that battle, mate?
Justin Rhodes leading Connor Swire and James Fern. And I noticed that Connor Swire is getting pit signals as well, so he will know that James Fern is half a second behind him, and he went a second quicker on that previous lap as well. So James Fern, who started 4th on the grid, he's coming very quickly.
Well, we'll wait and see if he can close that gap again. It's more of a matter of pride, of course, when you're arguing over the minor placings in the championship, but hey, you can just do what you can. Looks like Dance tripping the timing beam up there, nothing spectacular in the way of times. Everybody's going yellow there. Now, back markers might have a little bit of a part to play in this race at some point, because I do see a couple of slower riders just coming across the line there as the leaders make their way into the Robert chicane once more. Again, Dance looks like he's doing it easy. Really does. He's not using all the track. Gets a little bit of fresh air under the front wheel as he comes out of the corner there. He's chugging along quite happily there. I think he knows he's got a good lead. He's putting out a look under his armpit to see where his rival is.
I think for the first time this race as well that Donovan has closed the gap. It's now down to 2.2. It was 2.5, but we do only have a couple of laps remaining.
Daryl's pacing himself very nicely indeed. Pacing himself, pacing his bike, keeping it all facing in the right direction.
James Fern up the inside of Justin Rhodes, and that will put him up into 4th position. So he found a way through on Connor Swire on that previous lap, and then came across the line a 10th of a second behind Justin Rhodes, but just outbraked them as they went into Redgate to start this penultimate lap, and he is up into 4th position now. The gap between 4th and 3rd is 6.7 seconds, so a little bit too much of a gap to bridge for James Fern and a podium place, but still Clinton Wood's having a good ride there. He's 5 seconds down the road from Tyler Donovan in 2nd, but 6 seconds up the road from Justin Rose in 4th, so it's looking good for another podium in this Thunderbike Ultra Championship for the 85 of Clinton Wood.
Yeah, it's Clinton Wood, and it's going to see Clinton having a dust off the old dicky bow, get himself all dressed and pressed, ready for November, because he's looking very good to finish 3rd in the championship. And don't forget to book your tickets. If you're in the top 3 in the championship, you will get an invitation anyway. So there will be some other places available, whether it be for the full sit-down meal or just some bar tickets for the presentation, which will be immediately after the meal. So loads of trophies to give out, loads of special trophies to give out, and they're having a board meeting next week to decide who gets those special trophies, and obviously there's lots of names in the frames for all of the pots that are available.
On that previous lap, Tyler Donovan was 1.2 seconds quicker than Daryl Dance, and as they go over towards Schwantz and McLean's, I think Tyler Donovan, he's going to be right there in contention when they come down the back straight in towards the braking zone for Roberts, because
he's going to want it.
The gap that was 1 second as they come through the first split, and that is just now, Tyler Donovan has closed it by 0.7 of a second, so it's less than half a second, Keith, as they come round Coppice onto the back straight, and I don't think Daryl will know that he's there unless he can hear that ZX10 behind him, but as they come down the back straight into the braking zone, Tyler Donovan's got the inside line, and just
Daryl can't go with him. He's suddenly the other way, and there's a back marker in the way. It's going to be Tyler Donovan. Surely takes the checkered flag. Oh boy, that could be the most important win of his year. Tyler Donovan claims he's got 20-point advantage now over Daryl Dance. What a moment to choose. You're right, Daryl wasn't getting pit signals. What was Daryl's last lap time there, my friend?
Last lap was a 1 minute 13.6.
So about 2 seconds slower than his best.
Yep.
And Tyler's was?
His fastest lap was 1 minute 12.2.
Okay, so to be fair to Tyler, then what was his fastest? Was that his fastest?
Well, both were 1 minute 12.2, but his best lap was a 12.229, and his last lap was a 12.264.
So I have to say, I think Tyler maybe paced himself a little bit better there. Maybe, unfortunately, Daryl thought, I've got a big lead here. I looked under his armpit, thought, I've got a good lead here. I can afford to take it easy on the last lap. But Donovan knew exactly when to pounce